Okay, we got a guy reach out to me on Facebook. His name is Harkin Thrice. He's rated 279. He is from Great Britain. He is going to play against me in an unrated game, and I am 16-13. And we're going to see what kind of moves he makes. It looks like he's trying to do the Ponziani or Italian. Let's see what he does. Let's see if he pushes C3 or if he... Oh, that's... Very passive move. Very passive move. So I'm going to try to actually play good moves. I'm going to play like as if I'm playing versus a 1600. Actually, I'm going to try to play like I'm playing against a 1700. Like I'm really going to try to focus in. One of the things that I typically do when I play lower rated players, this happens a lot at our chess club. So I push this, he could pin me. So let's go here first. One of the things that I do versus lower rated players is I move too quickly. And I'm thinking I have such an advantage, I'm just going to move really fast. And I always think to myself like, oh, moving quickly is going to help me. Let's just shut down this knight real quick. But if I move too quickly, oftentimes I'll get myself into a place where I lose. I'll lose. Okay, now I think it's time to attack this bishop, and then if he comes here, I'll come here and get ready to push. Now I'll do this. This is not a good move. What I'm doing right now is not a good move because he can attack me, and then I just gotta go back. Push. Goes back here. He could go here and attack my queen. He could also attack back. So now he comes here. Now he comes here. I think that's good enough for now. We've kind of shut him down for a minute. I don't see a way to like actually take him. He's also got this move here, but I've got it defended two ways. So let's get a bishop out. Let's get some pieces out. I could come here with my queen and attack the b pawn, but I won't take it. I'll just attack it, but it also puts pressure on this diagonal here. If he attacks me, then I'm going to pull back and... Okay, that's a good move. It's actually a pretty good move. Let's go ahead and castle on that. On that note. All right, let's see. Let's go. If he takes this, I can't just take back. I can actually. I can. All right. Let's see. Let's get this bishop, or let's get this bishop, or this queen, I mean, out of the way of that bishop. I don't like it. So I could get attacked by the knight here. Right now I got it covered. But I'm just making it so that when he takes here, I can actually take back with my knight. And I'll trade. Double his pawns. I'm trading a bishop for a bishop. Not a bad move. Not usually a bad move. And maybe it's time to reroute this knight, but he hasn't kicked it. I really think he should be kicking this knight already. But he hasn't done it. So I could actually come here now and attack this knight. Where's it going to go? Where's it going to go? Alright, maybe just get my knight out first. Now I've got 2 defenders of this pawn. So when he kicks my knight, should I just attack? Okay, there's a pawn that needs defending here. He's taking the open file, which is good. He's playing very good. He's playing very good. And I could just come here on my knight and take this pawn. And if he tries to defend it, then, well, then I come here. If he pushes it, then I'm going to take, right? Or do I push? If he pushes, I push, then he takes and I take, and then he takes. Okay, yeah, let's go there. If he pushes the pawn, I gotta take it. Yeah, I gotta take it because it'll be a fork. Could always jump in there also. That's an idea. That's an idea. Let's open up. I think I want to open up. Well, I could take here. And when he takes back, I can actually open up my rook. And this is still this is still attacked. He could also push. That would be a good move right here. But I guess I could just take with check. Yeah, he's playing very good so far. I don't see any like major. He had that one passive move in the beginning. It's not bad. It wasn't a bad move, just a passive move. Yeah, so he's gonna try to defend that. I don't know if that's the best way to defend it. I think I just push. I could actually push here as well. I could actually just take it. To be honest, maybe I'll do that. I don't see a way for him to take advantage of me just taking it. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to take it. So I'm up a pawn now. I still have the option to push. And, I mean, maybe he was trying to double up and he was just thinking, I'll attack a pawn. But, I mean, I could always just bring this back here to defend this. And I can push it now. I can pull this over. If he brings the queen over, I think I'm just going to push b6. Actually, I might play b5 and just lock this guy in there. This knight isn't going anywhere if I play b5. So if he takes over here, I'm taking with a pawn. Probably this one to open up my rook. And I'm going to play b5, supporting this knight. And he can't be pushed by a pawn anymore because there's no pawn on the d file or b file that can move my knight. And so that's what these isolated pawns do. If you're wondering, like, why are isolated pawns such a big deal? Here's why. Because in between the isolated pawns are open files. And, you know, if you're trying to create an open file for your rook, okay. And you create an open file for your queen, okay. But, yeah, he's doubling up. So I think I just push b5 here. I have a fork I could... Oh, wow. Actually... I gotta decide now. So this opens up the king, and I can fork. Yeah, I think I gotta play that. As much as I really want to leave this knight just cemented in right here, I gotta play that move. So he has to take, or I essentially just get a free bishop. Yeah. And then fork here. If he plays this, then I take his queen. He takes my queen. Maybe I don't take. Maybe I don't go for the rook. Here. I take his queen, he takes my queen. He's attacking this, and I'm attacking nothing. So let's play b5. As much as I want this fork, as much as I want this fork, I can't allow the rook to come to the 7th rank. That's just not a good idea. Okay. I guess the difference here now, he sacrificed a knight for 2 pawns. I still have this fork, by the way. And now when he takes mine, he's not attacking anything. So I think now I just do it. And I also can take this pawn with check. Of course, the queen's better. I think I could move my queen somewhere and actually still win something. If he decides to just move his queen, then I get the rook. If he decides to attack my queen, I can either move to here, and I still have the fork. Yeah, so I just get the rook. Alright, so now we're up 4 points of material. I think it's time to trade things off. And you want to trade at the end of the game because it just simplifies it. I'm going to tell him, let's play. Alright, so he gave me the rook there. Of course he can take back with the queen. And I want to try to give him some advice in this game. That's the purpose of this, by the way. So now I think I come here with the queen. Just trying to be careful not to blunder. It's never too late to blunder in a game. It's never too late to blunder. So here's a check that I'm probably going to get. Unless he comes all the way back to here. In which case I'll just take this pawn, this pawn, this pawn. I think his best move is to come back to here. I mean, actually, I think, yeah, so I get the check now. It's not very useful. He defended this pawn. I really like to get rid of the queen. And once I get rid of the queen, you know, it's going to be an easier game. So he is creating some potential attacking opportunities over there, which is not a bad idea. It's not over for him. He's got a bishop and a queen. Like, he comes here, maybe I move, and he gets this pawn. And next thing you know, like, he gets his queen in a place. It's going to be hard, though, with my dark squared bishop. If he had the light squared bishop, I would say maybe. But this queen coming here, it can't really do much there. So I'm going to try to take this pawn next unless he defends it. And if he does, then I'm going to take this pawn. I think I'm still going to come here. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll take the queen. Taking the queen makes it a lot easier. And now I think he's going for a stalemate, which is a good strategy. In case you're not aware, don't just resign games, guys. If you're rated 250, you should never resign a game. I know you're like, oh, it's the sportsmanship, whatever. No, do what he's doing. He's going for a stalemate. Now, he's still got this square. It's going to be hard for him to actually get a stalemate. But it's a good strategy. So as long as I leave him this pawn, one pawn to move, though, I'm not going to get a stalemate. So if he pushes here, I'm going to take with the bishop. And actually, yeah, let's just push this pawn. And so he's still got this pawn over here. And he's got this pawn here. So I can't actually get a stalemate. You don't have to worry too much about stalemate. See, now he's pushing this pawn. If I was him, I would have pushed it twice instead of once. Should have pushed it twice, because as soon as he can get it right here, it can't move anymore. And then maybe he comes here and then I take, and then it's like I might actually just let him take it. And then he could actually I could take it with check. Let's do that. Then he has to move back here. And he's stuck on this file if he does that. Yeah, good game. Good game. Yeah, that was a good game. Just told him good game, and I'm gonna tell him there's lots of all right. So he started out with C6. I don't know. I think as a 250 player, you should be meeting E4 with E5. If you learn the Sicilian, okay, but the Carol Khan, I think. See, here's my problem. I want to just immediately try to like mess this up, because I'm like, he's a 250 or 279 actually. If I go here, I could just mess up his plan. But I'm gonna play what I would normally try to play. I don't want to try to play differently just because he's a 279. See, I knew the Carol Khan was coming, and I could have like tried to do something to throw him off, because I know he probably at 279 it's very likely he only knows a few moves of the Carol Khan. I could be wrong. Maybe he's played 2,000 bullet games in Carol Khan. Yeah, so he wants to go here. He wants to get this knight here, this bishop here. All right, so and I'm not super expert on Carol Khan. I did try to learn it. I know the first few moves as well, but I did. One of the things you can do is practice against an 800 or a 3200 computer and see what kind of moves. So I think I just want to take this check here and castle. Just play reasonable, logical moves. And he blocks. Okay. I could isolate a pawn immediately, but I'm just going to leave that pin there for now. And I'm going to go ahead and get Excuse me. By the way, I got on my Chess Dad shirt. Someone from my church bought me this shirt. Chess Dad. Just like a normal dad, but 3 moves ahead. Alright. So I probably should have actually played this move. I don't like to move 2 pieces twice in the opening. Unless there's something really good. Actually, that is really good. I should have played that move. Because now he has a chance. Yeah, I'm going to play it now while I have the chance. So, whenever you get a pinned piece, you want to attack the piece. And I don't know what I must have been distracted by my shirt or so. I don't remember what I was talking about where... like, his only move now is to move his bishop back. And then I'm going to trade my knight for the bishop. He can't block with the queen. Actually, he could block with his other knight. So, this is a tough choice here because he's attacking my queen. I could just push him on and make him leave. I could also take it, and when he takes back, I take. And now I've won 2 pieces for 1 piece. So this was not a very good move. But I'm really considering, instead of winning that piece, I'm considering pushing here. Because when he pushes back, well, now I attack his queen. And when he takes, I take. I take with check. His only move is to block with his knight. Then I take the rook. Now in that situation, I'm losing 2 pieces for a rook. So maybe this is better. Yeah, maybe this is better. So, and this is... Alright, at 279, if you were white right now, if we swapped, I wouldn't expect you to make this decision. I would expect you to just take here. And it's not a bad move. In fact, when we do the review of both of these games at the end, we'll see that this is still a good move. Taking here, it's attacking the queen. The only option... well, now I just got a free bishop. And I'm going to come back here, and we've reestablished the threat. Now I'm going to get the rook and the bishop. So, let's go back here. I just want, well, we'll talk about it during the review. We'll talk about it. Why did I take this bishop instead of taking this knight, knowing that I was, oh, now he just gave me his queen. Like, I feel like, you know, when I'm playing my son, which he's 11 now, about to be 12 this summer. Yeah, that's gonna be, yeah, I feel bad. He said, oops. I said, yeah, I feel bad taking it, but it'll be instructional. And probably, again, because he's playing against me, this would be a good place to probably resign. I'm just going to trade everything now. But if he was playing against another 279, do not resign this game. No, like, don't resign it. How many games are you resigning against a 300 rated opponent where, I don't know if I even want to castle now because it's just, yeah, it's just going to be trade mania. And you resign, and you could have gotten a stalemate. They could have hung their queen. They could have actually blundered their queen on the next move. You know, like, I review I have 3 kids, and one of them is rated, like, you know, around this range actually. And when she'll lose a piece, and on the very next move, the opponent will give away their queen, and I'm like, yeah, don't resign. And there's also, see, you gotta take back right here. He might be trying to do some stalemate tricks, but and again, that's a very good strategy. And I'm not someone who's always going to avoid stalemate or a draw. It's going to be hard for him to get a draw here because I still have my queen, and he doesn't really have anything that can do perpetual check very easily. I mean, it's possible. Like if I did castle. Okay, good. Not allowing me to trade. Yeah, I don't want to castle because I want my queen or my king to like be able to help clean up pawns and stuff here in a little bit. There's no threat right now from anything. His bishop is the most dangerous piece right now. Yeah, good job defending that. If I can get him to trade off his bishop, then we are going to kind of very quickly clean this up. Now, I'm going to try to come here and then here. And this check, if he takes, I'm happy. If he takes with the bishop, I'm happy. Double pawns don't matter when you're 12 points of material ahead. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and throw in the check. And if he takes and I take here and he takes there, I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna just like sacrifice my queen, even though it's totally probably winnable for me. 2 rooks versus 1 rook. I'm not gonna do that. Instead, I'm gonna attack this pawn here. And I think his only way to defend it is that, and then I just do this, and it has to move, and then I would take it if it went there, so it has to go back. And then I get this pawn, and then I'll be able to invade with my queen here, and it'll be very hard for these 3 pawns to stand. Once that pawn cluster is gone, these 3 pawns against these 2 pawns aren't going to stand a chance. Yeah, he goes for that, and this would lose him the rook. If he comes back here, then I get this pawn. He could also try to double up. He was probably going to do that. We saw this tactic in the last game where he was like, well, maybe I'll double up. So he's got this here that he might try to attack. At a certain point, I will sacrifice a queen for a rook. But I'm trying not to just like do it just for content or something like, oh, look, I can beat him. At this point, I think if I got 3 versus, we got even pawns. So at this point, we don't want to just like sacrifice when we don't need to. So if we get a few pawns, or if he like finds a way to pin me here, then we'll sacrifice it. And so he walked right into a pin. You don't ever want to put your pieces in line with your king, especially when there's a pawn that can just easily attack you. This is the exact same square where we saw that before. And so at this point, I will actually sacrifice, because at this point, there's no way he can save this pawn in the center. He can move forward, but then I just attack it with the pawn. And I didn't even really need this rook. I could actually still castle now if he continues to play on, which is totally fine. Totally fine. He's got 313 left. He's wondering, is there a way to stalemate? Yeah, don't feel bad playing for a stalemate. Yeah, good move. And now I get to take it on the next. He can't take back, right? So we'll trade pawns there. And then I can usually go into hyperdrive here. I could take that. We'll just castle. And we'll bring up the other rook. His king is cut off. He can only go like here or here. Yeah, that's going to be... So I'm going to let him play around over here and take pawns if he wants. Yep. I'm just going to go grab these. I'm going to grab this one because it was defending this one. And now I can take this one. And you're saying, why are you taking all the pawns? It's not like I'm trying to be like a troll or something. Don't think that that's what's happening. What's actually happening is I want to make sure I don't stalemate, number one. And getting all the pawns out of the way makes it a lot easier to get a checkmate without pawns being in the way. So that's kind of the idea. So I think I want to come here. He's only got one move, which is there. Actually, no, I think I want to come. So if I get... Yeah, good game, he said. All right. We'll do it again soon. Let's go. We'll review this game now. This one will be quick, and then we'll go back to his other game, because the other game was a little bit more instructional. This one, he hung a queen, and it was kind of... So what I was saying about the Carol Khan is I knew it was coming. Like when he played c6, I knew that d5 was coming, and I thought about just... wait, where's my turn? I thought about just playing this move immediately or potentially playing this move immediately so that when he played, right, I would have this target here. Or if I played this move, when he plays here, and this queen has to come out, and then I attack his knight, or I attack with the knight. And this kind of just would probably throw him off his game because he didn't ever see this probably versus a 279. Maybe he has. So I went ahead and just tried to play the book moves. Of course, those other moves were book moves as well. They're just a different line. And right here, I should have already went for this. And yeah, that's the best move. So I missed a move there. And then I think I was focused on castling. And one of the things I have trouble with is talking while I'm playing chess. I make more mistakes, I feel like. So I did get the best move eventually. This was a blunder. And let's see if Stockfish says this is the best move or if this is the best move. So take, great move, it says. Great move. Now, I don't expect you to see this at 279. I don't. Of course, I don't, because you wouldn't have put it there if you would have seen why. So here, let me explain why. So if I take here and he does take back, which he didn't, and I got 2 pieces for 1 piece. That's if you count the material, right? Pawns are worth 1, bishops and knights are worth 3, rook is worth 5, queen is worth 9, king is obviously like infinity. So if I'm going to get a bishop and a knight, that's 6 points. And I traded it for a knight. That's 3 points. So that's a net total of 3 points. Okay. The other way is going to be a good move. Okay. So I'm attacking the queen. It actually says inaccurate. It's worse than I thought. So it actually, this gives me 4.9. This takes me down to 3.0. Wow. Yeah, it takes away 2 pawns. And I'll show you why it takes away 2 pawns. Because when he takes back, yes, I get the rook. He's got to block with something. Probably the knight. No, actually probably the bishop. Because then the bishop would be hanging. And then I get this. And then he gets this. And now I've lost a knight and a bishop, and all I got in return was, hold on, oh, Okay, not the queen. Hold on a second. Go back. I lost a knight and a bishop, and here's what I got in return. I got a knight, so now I'm up 3. Okay. Oh, come on. I got a knight. I'm up 3. When he takes back with the pawn, I'm down to even. I take a pawn, I'm up +1 because I got a pawn. When he blocks and I take, I'm up +6 like I was before. And then when he takes, oh, actually, here's the reason why. Because I would just lose my queen. You wouldn't take it back. You would just take the queen. So that's the reason why that was the better move. At a certain point, let's see, takes. He actually could just take my queen. Oh, yeah, we thought about that. Here, and then I don't get to castle. So, wow, okay. So I totally forgot my queen was under attack. So I'm glad I took this way. But here, let's pretend that my queen wasn't under attack, and this all stayed intact. It's telling me I missed because I should just take it. And he just plays something else. Right, so now over here, if I take, right, and he takes, and then I take, and then he blocks, and then I take, and then he takes back. Well, now I've just traded a bishop for a rook. A rook is worth 5 points. A bishop is worth 3 points. So 5 minus 3 is only 2 points. Now, of course, I actually get a bishop as well. So this wasn't exactly... I'm making a point that doesn't actually apply here. So I hope that I'm not confusing anyone. But a lot of times when you get a chance to gain a minor piece completely for free versus gaining a rook, a major piece, at the cost of a minor piece, you're only gonna gain 2 points that way. Whereas if you get a completely free piece, you would gain 1. Now he just hangs his queen right here. At this point on, it was trade. Just trade. He probably should have taken here. Wait. It says that's a good move, but he probably should have just taken there. As much as he doesn't want to trade pieces, he should definitely trade a pawn for a piece. He didn't trade there, which was good, I think. Let's see if it says to trade. I don't think that's going to be a good move. It is the best move. So it's wanting him to trade as well. Probably Stockfish is already realizing that his best chance right now is to get stalemate. So it's actually telling him to trade off pieces as well. Let's see what it would have said if I just taken here. Probably says it's a good move. No, it doesn't. It says an accuracy. And I think the reason why is because he's still got a lot of pawns. So I decided to attack this pawn. I knew there was no way to save it. The best possible way to try to save it is here. He can't come with the king. Oops. He can't come with the king because my pawn's got that locked away. So I knew when he tried to do this, I thought 2 moves ahead. You guys think that we're thinking like 100 moves ahead. It's just 2. I knew that when I came here, if he tried to defend it, I would kick it away and there was nowhere else for him to go. So 2 moves ahead is all I thought of. Then well, I guess you could say 3. And then I said, when he moves, I'm actually going to get the pawn. And so I knew I would get that pawn. He doubled up, okay? And I knew that that was a little bit dangerous, but I went ahead and checked first. Now, I wonder what Stockfish says about just taking here. It's an inaccurate... Well, because I got free pawns. So I took the free pawns. Get rid of these pawns, and you're basically... It's gaming over. He walked into another pin here. So... Let's go back and see what his better move is. So I checked him. I think his better move is to move. Possibly right here. No, because then I get a fork. If he walks here, he walks into a fork even if he blocks. So I think he's got to come here. But then I get to pin him here. But the difference is I don't really have anything that can attack it. And he can come over and try to defend it. That's probably not the best move, but you know. He wouldn't just lose his rook. Okay, so he walks into a pin here, and there's a pawn that can attack it. So I get that. At this point, I trade. Again, Stockfish says that's not the best move, right? It's probably something like this. Get rid of some more pawns. It's probably something like just castle and bring your other rook into the game. That's a good move. bringing this in, because his piece is still pinned, so I could just come take this pawn, right? So yeah, pretty much the rest of it was just cleaning up the pawns, and we'll go look at the other game really quickly. Hang tight, because there's some stuff that we're going to see in this video, this next portion of the video, that I think that's going to be very, very instructional. So we'll go back to, let's see, we'll click on his account. It's the easiest way to get back to it. Click on games, and then there's this game here. So I didn't mention I got 91.1 accuracy in that game. He got 82. So he was playing pretty good until he hung his queen. Let's see what he got in this game. I feel like he played better in this first game. He had white, so that's natural. He actually got a 79 accuracy, and he had one blunder. It says he played like a 1250 in this game. So I told you, I was like, he's playing really well. I didn't feel like I was playing a 279 in this first game. It felt more like I was playing a much higher rated player. He played like a 1250, and it says I played like a 1600. So I played at my level. He played way like 1,000 points above his level, and maybe perhaps it's the case that because he was playing someone higher rated, it kind of gravity kind of like pulled him up to me, right? I wasn't just making crazy random moves. I was making book moves, and you know, it just, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but possibly, you know, and when I could play against one of my son. One of my sons is rated 800, and he beat me 3 games in a row the other night. I played as black over the board. He beat me 3 games in a row. So I feel like when you play someone higher rated, you actually are focused more. I wonder what would happen if I played a 2200 right now, for example. If you're watching this video and you're rated 2200, let's do a video. I'm sure you'll beat me, but then we could probably learn from that as well. Okay, let's watch this game. Book move. Yeah, so this was very passive. This was the first thing I was like, okay. Either take the center because I allowed you to, or, well, you got to defend this pawn. That's why you're doing that. Yeah, so it's just really passive. I don't... you could play the Ponziani here. And you could also bring your bishop out. Yeah. You could also bring your knight out to defend it. It says that's the best move. So I get now why you were playing this move, because you're trying to defend this pawn. It looks weird to me when I see this move. There's other ways to defend it, and maybe you didn't want to bring this knight out. If it was me, I would... Yeah, all right, let's move on. So he defends it passively instead of developing... If you can develop a piece and defend, you've done 2 things in one move. Remember, guys, at the beginning of the game, it's a race to get all your pieces out. So this was a mistake by me. And sometimes I play moves that aren't the best move just because I'm being passive. I just wanted to keep this knight locked in so that he couldn't come into the game. This is a mistake. I knew it was. I know this is a bad move, but I play it quite often because I want to try to get rid of this bishop, or at least put it in a place where it's not really in the game. And I always had this square to retreat to and get my knight back into the game. He never attacked it. I feel like he should have attacked this knight almost immediately. Now, I'm always against playing h-pawns and a-pawns unless it's a last resort, but this move didn't make sense to me. He should have kicked my knight. Here, maybe he's trying to set this up, but then if I take, it just doubles your pawn. So it didn't quite make sense to me why we're playing this move. You don't have a bishop over here that you can get into that square. Maybe you were thinking about going here. Yeah, it's calling this a mistake because I should have developed a piece, but I just wanted to get out of this pin right here just in case something crazy started going down. Yeah, so he did play that move. Okay. Yeah, I took it because I'm like, let's double the pawns. And I developed my knight. I knew he was probably going to try to attack this. And so I decided to attack this. But it was probably better to play something else. Because when he did attack it, I could just attack him. Actually, that was my plan anyways. So I thought if he came here to try to defend it, then I was going to do that. And then he couldn't move. All right. So he takes here. I take with the knight. He probably should have taken this. Yeah, that's the best move. Don't leave somebody's knight just sitting in the center. He comes down here to take it. And then I'm like, I could kick him back, which was my original plan. And what does it say? Does it say this move is good? It's a good move. But instead I took here. It says it's a miss. So I missed it. Maybe it wants me to take this way. Or perhaps it wants me to take this knight. Maybe it wants me to take that knight. Yeah. But then the queen comes in. So again, sometimes Stockfish gives me moves that I'm like, I don't know if I want to play that line. Yeah, it's the best move. But I thought this was better. Because if he takes back, then I get to put another knight in the center. And if he doesn't, I'm going to put this pawn here. And I'm going to lock down a knight in a place that cannot move unless another knight attacks it. So maybe that's why Stockfish wanted me to take that knight, because it was going to be able to come here. So let's see. That was a blunder. Did I take advantage of it? Yes. Okay, here's why it was a blunder. Because you put yourself in a position to be forked. Whenever there's 3 spaces between 2 major pieces, you always got to look at this little, it looks like the Tetris shape. So whenever there's 3 spaces and you create this Tetris piece, you got to watch out to make sure there's not a knight that can get there. Takes. So best move. This was an okay move. It wanted me to do this right away. I knew it did, and I really talked about it a lot during the game, but I thought, you know what? I really just want to leave this knight right here. It's a good knight. Okay. Now, it wanted me to do this right away, and I wonder when it saves the queen, if it wants me to take the rook. Yeah, that's the best move, because this pawn was also hanging. So this defends the pawn, and then the rook has to move. All right, the rook gets taken, and that's the best move. Okay, so that's what it wanted me to play. I defended the knight instead. He took that. I took back, and now I'm still defending my knight, but the pawn is going to get lost. But after my knight is now no longer as awesome as it used to be, because now there's nothing that can defend it except for this pawn, which would just get taken by one of 2 pieces. Then I went for the fork. And then he did move the best move. I wonder, I'm just curious. If he comes here, would I take here? It is the best move. See, I had considered that. Like, oh, it's a free rook. Remember, it's not a free rook. It's, if I take it, it's good to move. It's not a bad move. It's actually only, I'm actually only going to get 2. Think of it as like 2. If I could trade a rook for pawns, I would trade it for 5 pawns, right? If I could trade a knight for pawns, I would trade it for 3 pawns. So that means I just took 5 pawns with 3 pawns, leaving me 2 pawns, which is good normally. However, I could keep my 3 pawns and take this pawn, which means I'm now up 4 pawns. And when the king moves either way, probably in the corner, then I get this bishop. So now I get a bishop and a pawn, and I get to keep my knight. That's 7 points versus 2 points. So I had considered taking that if he didn't defend it, but he actually did defend it. And so when he defended it, I took the rook. It's the best move. Here, I'm just like, let's trade. He let me take it. So this was letting me take it the best move. this... I feel like this bishop needs to somehow get in the game. Maybe she needs to come here. That's a good move. Also coming here with the rook would have been probably a good move. Yeah. So he lets me take it. This is an okay move. It's got a check mark, like it's not going to kill you. It says I did not play the best move. Okay, queen here. I probably should have just taken this pawn. Yeah, I knew that was the best move, but again, I don't always play the stockfish lines, even if I see them. This queen coming in here didn't really have a threat because there's no light square bishop. And we're seeing that this dark square bishop is, man, it's really holding down the fort. Like, you're not really going to get here unless you have a light square bishop. And I traded that off early. So I came here, fork, takes is the best. I had an opportunity here to just take a pawn. And that's an okay move. But if I get this queen off the board, Stockfish knows I'm going to win. Okay. And at this point, it was get rid of his pawn so I don't make a mistake, but leave him enough so that, you know, he played... Is this where he played this move? I feel like he probably, at this point, should have played this move. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, as soon as he gets this pawn to this square, it can no longer move. And as soon as I get, you know, you get rid of this pawn, maybe it actually wanted to push this right away. Basically, you want to get to a point where you have no legal moves. Here, this would have been dangerous to take with the bishop. It actually says it's the best move. He's stuck here. And check this out. He's got no moves except for this one. So if I just messed around and did this, and he would have done 2 moves instead of 1, and he was played a couple more moves, he could have got a stalemate. So again, don't resign at the end of a game. Go for stalemate. Go for a draw. Try to get a perpetual check. Your opponent could blunder. At 279, don't resign. I know that rhymes. That's pretty cool. At 279, don't resign. Good game. 2 good games by my opponent. I told him we're going to do this again in the future, and maybe perhaps he learns a few things from these videos, and maybe he'll send me some questions if he has any questions about why I think I explained everything pretty well. Maybe I should have flipped the board around and played it from his perspective. Maybe I'll do that next time. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you want me to review your games. We'll see you in the next episode. God bless.